another minute to get on if they want to. Hi Susan, hi Ivy, hi Becky. So we are going to go ahead and get started. So we'll come onto our mats. We're just going to start out in child's pose. And in our child's pose, let's just open those knees up, bring those toes to touch. Just sit back onto your heels, and we'll come forward, bringing our forehead down to the mat. And let's just take our arms and our hands behind us, grabbing onto the bottoms of the feet. Releasing any tension in the shoulders, so not trying to force your arms up, but just let those shoulders open and fall to either side. Maybe they fall down onto your thighs. Bring that awareness into your breath, not changing anything at the moment. Just allow yourself to be heavy on your mat. Maybe with each exhale, we allow ourselves to just be a little bit more heavy, just allowing ourselves to surrender down into the mat, into the earth. Let's just go ahead and roll our forehead from side to side on the mat. From here, we'll just reach those arms out nice and long. Spreading those fingertips nice and wide, pressing them down into the mat. From here, we'll start to deepen into our breath. So by doing that, we're just going to slow down our inhales. And then we're going to try to make those exhales even longer than the inhale. We'll start to move that breath in and out of the nostrils. Our fingers are nice and wide. We still have those child's pose legs. We're just going to take the crown of the head down to the mat. Just stretching out the back side of the neck here. From there, we'll just lift ourselves up. Let's come up onto all fours, stacking those shoulders over the wrists, taking the knees and the hips so that they are stacked. And we're just going to go into a rotation. So we're going to push ourselves back towards our heels, and we're going to float over towards the right, all the way up, over to the left. Just taking huge circles with our body. Maybe even letting that head fall heavy so there's no tension in the neck. Beautiful. When we get to the top here, we're just going to reverse directions. All the way around, let's end at our heels, pushing back into that child's pose. Right out into our puppy pose. So we have those hips over the knees. We'll just walk those arms straight out in front. Maybe the forehead comes down to the mat. Maybe our chest comes down to the mat. Here we'll pull ourselves forward, coming down onto those forearms. So you come down onto the forearms. Let's just interlace those fingers. We'll have those elbows under the shoulders. We're going to curl all 10 toes onto the mat, lifting those kneecap up. Grow the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Trying to open up that collarbone. Stretching out the bottoms of the feet, the back of the legs. Beautiful. We'll release that down. Untuck those toes. Let's take the hands to either side of the chest. Squeeze those elbows in towards one another. Draw those shoulder blades down the back. And on our inhale, we're going to lift up just a little bit, growing the crown of the head out towards the top of the mat, coming into our baby cobra. And we'll exhale it down. And let's inhale up. Exhaling it down. One more time here. Let's inhale up. Try to shoot through the top of the head, pushing those toes long behind you. Really trying to lengthen. On our exhale, we're going to come down. And let's push ourselves back up, moving back into our child's pose. Staying connected with our breath. From here, we're going to walk our hands over towards the right. Maybe we take the left hand over top of the right hand, pushing that left hip back, getting a nice stretch in that left side body. Come to center, and then we're just going to walk those hands over to the left, so the left arm comes out, right hand comes over that left hand, and we're pulling that right hip back, really trying to lengthen the right side body here. Back to center. Again, lengthening those arms all the way out. Maybe getting a little bit deeper into that child's pose. Pulling that tailbone back towards the heels. Beautiful. Again, we're going to inhale it up. As we inhale it up, we're going to stack those hips over the knees. We're going to walk the hands out. As we walk the hands out, the left hand is going to stay out. The right hand is going to sweep underneath. And we're going to come down onto that right face cheek. Trying to relax the jaw, relax the cheeks. Maybe taking your gaze down towards the mat. Here, we're going to walk that left hand underneath the shoulder. Let's press ourselves up. We're just going to sweep that right hand all the way up. Just trying to open up here. We'll circle our wrists in one direction. Then we'll reverse. Come back down. We'll press back into that child's pose. Again, connecting with our breath. come back up, again stacking those hips over the knees. We'll walk those arms out. Left hand this time comes in between that right arm and leg. We come down onto that left face cheek. Threading our needle. And releasing any tension in our face. Trying to soften. Walk that right hand back out under that right shoulder. Let's press ourselves up, sweeping that left arm all the way up. Again, trying to open up here. Even if you have to shift your hips a little bit, just try to let that chest open. Let the head fall back. And we'll move the wrists in one direction. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and reverse. We'll come back down. Again, shifting back into that child's pose. Here we're going to bend at those elbows, taking our hands in that prayer position, taking it behind the head. Maybe we walk those elbows out so that we are getting a stretch in the underarm. Let's take those arms back out, stretching them nice and long, trying to pull that tailbone back, really trying to lengthen the spine here. So from here, we're going to come up onto all fours again, stacking those hips over the knees. Shoulders over the wrists. Finally moving into our cow-cat sequence. So we're going to drop the stomach, arching the back, opening up the collarbone, taking our gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, nice and slow. We start to round the spine, pulling that tailbone down towards the mat, taking our chin to our chest. Trying to separate those shoulder blades. Just thinking of every single feeling in the body as you move. Just being in our present moment. And our inhale, we're going to start to shift back into that cow pose. Arching the back. Opening up the collarbone. Taking our gaze towards the ceiling. And again, slow and controlled, thinking about every movement as we move back into our cat pose, rounding the spine, curling that tailbone down, taking our chin into the chest, really trying to press away from the mat so that we're separating those shoulder blades. And again, we'll inhale back into our cow pose. The shoulders over the wrists. Exhale back into cat. Beautiful. One more time here. Let's pull it forward into cow. And then we'll exhale it back into our cat pose. Beautiful. Coming into a nice neutral spine here. Flat back, hugging that navel in. We're just gonna raise that right leg up behind us. Let's take all 5 toes down to the mat. Let's just push back, get the stretch in the calf. And hugging that navel in, maybe even taking your chin to the chest. Lift that right leg up. So you can stay right here, or you can bend at the knee. Again, you can stay here, or you can take that left hand back, grabbing onto the ankle, and maybe just doing a little bit of a back bend in the back. Also getting a stretch in the thigh. We'll release that. Let's take the arm and the leg up nice and long. We'll drop the hand down, the knee down. Drop the stomach, pull the collarbone forward. Coming into our cow. And on our exhale, we're going to round the spine, coming into cat. Back into center, back to that neutral spine. Left leg comes up this time. Taking all 5 toes down to the mat. Again, pushing back, getting a nice stretch in our calf muscle. Taking our chin to our chest. So there's a lot of options here. You can bring that leg up, holding it hip height, or you can bend at the knee. You can stay here, or you can take that right hand around, grabbing onto the ankle or the top of the foot. That. Let's take the leg and arm out nice and long. Hand down to the mat, knee down to the mat. Let's shift back into that child's pose. Let's inhale back up onto all fours. As we move up onto all fours, let's curl all 10 toes down onto the mat. So try to get them all onto the mat, even if you need to take your fingers back and get the toes on the mat. And then from there, we're going to just start to walk back. So your walking back might be here. It might be straight up, but we're going to get some stretch in our toes. walk those hands all the way back out, pushing back into a child's pose with all 10 toes curled, forehead down onto the mat. We'll start to lift ourselves up. Hands are spread nice and wide. Those fingers are nice and wide. Press all 10 knuckle beds down into the mat. Engage the core. See if you can start to lift and hover those knees. Beautiful. We're going to shift back into our down dog if we need to adjust. Go ahead and adjust. We'll bicycle those heels, bending one knee, then the other. Keeping those hips nice and high, navel pulled in. And as we're bicycling those heels, let's just shake that head from side to side, maybe even turning it. Beautiful, let's come to still. Taking a nice big inhale. Exhaling it out. Let's walk our hands back to our feet. Bending those knees as you need to bend them. Feet are hip width apart here. We're just going to let the head fall heavy. As we let it fall heavy, think about your forehead trying to come to your shins. And the crown of the head is just drawn like a magnet down to the mat. You can let the arms just fall, or you can go into your ragdoll by grabbing onto opposite elbows. You can start to sway back and forth. Beautiful. We'll come back to still, back to center. Let's interlace those hands behind the head. Let's squeeze those elbows towards one another. Pull the chin to the chest. Pull the navel in, round the spine. Press through the feet, so through the big toe, through the heel, slowly. Start to work ourselves all the way up. As we come all the way up, we'll take our gaze up towards the ceiling, opening up our hearts, opening up our elbows. Beautiful. Let's come in to stand. We'll release those arms down to our side in our standing mountain pose, pressing through the heels and trying to grow the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Drop the chin to the chest. Let the shoulders fall down the back. We're just going to kind of open up that throat chakra a little bit. Let's pull over to the left, opening up, getting a stretch to the right side of the neck. And then we'll round it back down, chin the chest. Rolling over to the right. Again, as we roll to the right, we're trying to pull this left shoulder down. We're not trying to hunch it up. We're allowing ourselves to open. And let's just roll it back and forth. Okay, so let's come back to center and grow the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Let's inhale our arms all the way up. Reaching up, looking up, maybe even a slight little back bend here. And on our exhale, circle those arms nice and wide. Reverse swan, dive it down. Releasing the head down towards the shins. We're going to walk out to our down dog. here. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Exhale, we're going to fold that down. Again, inhale, we're taking it all the way up. Looking up, hands touch. Exhale, just drawing right down through the midline, forward fold, hinging at those hips. From here, we come into a nice flat back, looking forward. Exhale, we're going to fold it down. Plant those hands down onto the mat, step back to that down dog. Come high on those toes, heels over the toes, bend the knees, press that rib cage back to the thighs. Sits bones are going up towards the ceiling. And then from there, we're going to start to straighten the legs by working the heels down towards the mat. Beautiful, looking forward here. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Again, we're going to forward fold. Inhale, take it all the way up. Hands touch, we're going to look up. Maybe that little back bend. Exhale, we're pulling right through that midline. Forward fold. Coming into a nice flat back here, looking forward. Exhale, fold it down, face in towards the shins. Plant those hands back to our down dog. This down dog, we're going to take it nice and wide. So step those feet about mat width apart, pressing back. Beautiful, looking forward here. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Good, pressing through the big toe, pressing through the heels. Inhale, take it all the way up. Gaze up, palms touch. Exhale, drawing right through that midline, forward fold. Again, coming into a nice flat back here, looking forward. Exhale, we're going to fold it down, face in towards the shins. Plant the hands, stepping back to our down dog. This time we're going to roll forward into a plank position. Drop the knees down to the mat. Hug those elbows in, engage the core. Slowly lower down. Elbows pulling in towards one another, shoulder blades going down the back, untuck those toes. Inhale up, baby cobra. Beautiful, exhale it down. Again, pushing up onto all fours. Curling all 10 toes, lift those hips up, coming back to that down dog. Pressing through those fingers, through those knuckle beds. Beautiful, looking forward here. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Again, we're going to forward fold, face in towards those shins. Pressing through the feet, inhale, take it all the way up. Gaze up, palms touch. Again, drawing that exhale right down through the midline, forward fold. Inhale, coming into a nice flat back here, looking forward. Exhale, we're going to fold it down, stepping back into that down dog. Beautiful. This time we're going to inhale forward into that plank position. We're slowly going to lower all the way down to the mat, so draw those elbows in, look in front of your mat, engage that core, slowly lower down. Beautiful, untuck those toes, elbows draw it in, shoulder blades down the back, Inhale up, baby cobra or cobra. Beautiful, exhale down. Again, pushing up onto all fours, tucking all 10 toes onto the mat. Lift those hips up, back to down dog. Nice, looking forward, step or hop to the top of your mat. Forward fold, face into the shins. Again, rooting through those feet. Inhale, take it all the way up. Reaching up, hands touch. Last one here. Drawing through that midline on that exhale. Inhale to a flat back here, looking forward. Exhale, fold, face into the shins. Planting those hands back to our down dog. Okay, we're going to pull forward into plank. We're going to lower down, chaturanga. Inhale to your up dog. And we're going to exhale it back. Beautiful. Looking forward here. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Again, press through those feet. Inhale it all the way up. Exhale, drawing through that midline, hinging at the hips, taking it down. Inhale to our flat back here. Exhale, we're going to fold it down. Plant those hands. Let's go back to that down dog. Beautiful. Right leg's going to come up, three-legged dog. Bend the knee and stack the hip here. Flexing that foot. Trying to pull that knee up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Moving back to that three-legged dog. Draw the knee into the nose, stepping through. Back foot parallel or 45. Inhale up, warrior one. Try to keep the knee in line with the ankle or a little bit in front of the ankle, just not in front of the toes. Beautiful. Interlace those hands behind the back. Open up that collarbone. Look up for a minute. And then exhale, hinge it forward, humble warrior. Let's pull it back up into that warrior one. Arms come up. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Beautiful. Let's frame that foot. Step back into our down dog. Beautiful. We're going to roll forward into our plank position, taking the gaze over the mat. Heels over those toes. Exhale those hips up nice and high, back to down dog. Left leg is going to come up into our three-legged dog. We're going to bend the knee and stack the hip here. We're coming back to our three-legged dog. Draw the knee in, stepping through warrior one. Again, we're going to interlace those hands behind the back. See if we can open up first. And then exhale, humble warrior. Back up into our warrior one. Drawing those hands, those fingertips up towards the ceiling, pulling the shoulder blades down into the back. Let's frame that foot. Let's go back into our down dog. Again, we're going to pull forward into that plank position, trying to get the heels over the toes, curling that tailbone down, pressing away from the mat. Exhale, hips nice and high, back to down dog. Beautiful, looking forward here, step or hop to the top of the mat. We're gonna forward fold. On our inhale, let's take it all the way up. This time we're gonna exhale, reverse swan, dive it down. Inhale to a nice flat back here. Beautiful. Exhale, fold it down. Gonna heel toe our feet so they're about hip width apart here. Let's inhale, get some length. Exhale, we're gonna fold by interlacing those fingers around that big toe. Again, we're gonna inhale some length here, tailbone out. Exhale, fold, widen those elbows, draw the crown of the head down towards the mat. Try not to lean back into the heels. Try to keep the hips over those ankles. Maybe even put some weight in the toes. Again, shoulder blades are drawing down the back, away from those ears. Push-pull with those fingers and toes. Your fingers are trying to pull those toes up, those big toes up, while your big toes are trying to pull and push. Actually trying to push those fingers down into the mat. Beautiful. Let's go ahead. Come into a nice flat back here, looking forward. We're going to release those toes. We're going to heel toe our feet in so they're exactly hip width apart here. From here, exhale, fold it down. Again, on our inhale, pushing through the feet. Inhale, take it all the way up. Slight little back bend here. Exhale, reverse swan, dive it down. Beautiful. Again, nice flat back, tailbone out, looking forward. Exhale, fold. Our right hand is going to go to our midline, so maybe we tent those fingers. We're going to bend into that right leg, and then our left hand's going to sweep up so that we can open up. Gaze can go up towards the ceiling. Keep the hand up, or maybe you wrap it around, finding a half bind, trying to grab onto that left thigh, or that left hip crease, or right hip crease, I'm sorry, right, not left, right. Beautiful. If you have a hold of that right thigh, or right hip crease, let's take the arm all the way back up. Exhale down. We're just going to replace that right hand with the left, tenting those fingers. Again, bend into that left leg. Right hand sweeps up. Remember, you can stay here or you can wrap that arm around, maybe grabbing onto the left thigh or in the left hip crease. Taking the gaze up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Let's release that. Take that right arm all the way up. Exhale, we're going to take it down. From here, take that breath all the way up on that inhale. Body comes up. Let's draw our hands into heart center. We'll heel toe those feet in. Pressing down through the mat, growing the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Weight that right foot. Let's come up onto those left toes. Opening up that left hip. You can keep your toes on the mat. You can bring your foot to your calf. You don't want it on that knee. Or you can bring it right up to the thigh. And then from there, let's grow our branches, coming into tree pose. Beautiful. Let's bring our hands back to heart center. Let's release by rotating that knee forward and take the foot down to the mat. We're going to move into second side here. So we're going to press down through that left foot. Okay, growing the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Let's come up onto those right toes. Let's open up that right hip. Again, foot can stay on the ground. Can go to the calf, can go to the thigh. And from there, we'll inhale up. Beautiful. Let's draw those hands back to heart center. Rotate that knee forward. Release the foot down to the mat. Inhale, let's take it all the way up. Exhale, reverse swan dive down. Coming into a nice flat back here. Exhale, fold. Plant those hands. Let's move back to our down dog. Beautiful. Right leg comes up, three-legged dog here. Drawing the right knee in towards the right wrist. Taking that foot back, left leg all the way back. So if you can't bring your right leg parallel with the mat and it's in this thing like I've got, I don't know what angle this is. Oh, I'm sure you get my gist. You don't want to flex the foot is what I'm getting at. So we're lengthening that right leg and left leg all the way back. Let's inhale up. And on our exhale, we're going to come down. So we're in our half pigeon. You can stack your shoulder or stack your hands, stack your fists. Come all the way down. Say I have about a 20 degrees here. I have a hard time opening up one of my hips. Beautiful. From here, let's start to work ourselves back up, coming onto those hands. As we do that, we're going to curl all 5 toes onto that left leg. Lift that left kneecap up, press through the hands, hover that right leg, and then sweep it back. Release the foot down to the mat. Left leg comes up, drawing the left knee in towards that left wrist, sliding that right leg back. Inhale, we'll take it up. Exhale, fold. Start to work ourselves up. time we're just gonna let our bum fall over to the left, sweep both legs around. Extend those legs out in front of us. Remove any flesh so we're sitting up nice and tall in those sits bones. Feet are flexed. Let's inhale our arms up. Exhale, hinging from the hips. Let's come forward, just releasing the head down towards the legs. The toes. Let's round the spine, engage the core. Slowly lower all the way down. Coming into a nice morning stretch here. Stretching the toes to one side of the room, fingertips to the other. Circle those arms nice and wide. Let's draw the knees into the chest. Maybe taking some rocks back and forth. Here you can go into shoulder stand or into just taking your legs straight up, whatever it is that you're feeling. Shoulder stand, your hands are on either side of the body. We inhale our feet overhead so that we're stacking. Lifting our legs all the way up. One more deep breath here. Beautiful. We're going to slowly start to lower whatever it is that you're in. Moving right into our reclined butterfly. Connecting the bottoms of the feet, letting those knees open to either side of the mat. Let's take our fingers, our hands right into our hip crease, right into those hip flexors. Let's just gently press down and try to grow the top of the head, the crown of the head, towards the top of the mat, lengthening that spine. Beautiful. We'll release that. We'll draw those knees into the chest. Taking some rocks on the back. Let's just draw our forehead right up to our knees, nice and tight. Just squeezing in a tight little ball. And then on our exhale, let's open it up. Let's find our Shavasana, our final resting pose. Letting our hips naturally open those legs up. Releasing tension in all parts of the body. Releasing the tension in our feet, the right foot and the left foot. Just letting those heels fall into the mat. Tension in that right knee. The left knee. Letting the lower legs be nice and heavy. Stop fighting the hips. Just allow those legs to open naturally. force it. Letting that sacrum bury into the mat. All 10 fingers, not trying to curl them in tight or forcing them to be wide open. Just let them be natural. Let those shoulders open, the collarbone open. Releasing the tension. Letting the base of the head be heavy in the mat. Unclenching the jaw, relaxing the skin on the cheeks. Letting your mouth just open naturally. Releasing the wrinkles or the tension in your forehead. Bodies be heavy in our mats, surrendering to our mats, letting all that tension go, just feeling a little lighter. Breath move in and out of the mouth naturally. Ourselves to lie in this comfortable, motionless position with our eyes closed for at least the next 45 seconds. Be generous in prosperity and thankful in adversity. Be fair in judgment and guarded in thy speech. Be a lamp unto those who walk in the darkness and a home to the stranger. Be the eyes to the blind and a guiding light unto the feet of the errant. Be a breath of life to the body of the humankind, a dew to the soil of the human heart, and a fruit upon the tree of humility. Slowly start to bring our attention to parts of our body drawing those knees in towards the chest. And from there, we'll rock over to a right side fetal position. Just resting our face cheek on our bicep. And then in our own time, in our own way, we'll make ourselves up into a comfortable seated position. Pulling our hands into heart center. Closing our eyes. Being thankful for the life that we have. Counting all of our blessings. Taking the time to find the good in every single situation. Knowing that everything in life is allowing us to grow. And whatever your belief is, we have something or someone to thank for that. Let's draw those thumbs up to the point between the eyebrows. The light in me honors and sees the light and goodness in every one of you. And together we can say, Namaste. Namaste. Alright. So I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. Enjoying your Good Friday. And if you don't, jump on this weekend for booty yoga, enjoying our Easter with whomever that might be. I know it's difficult for many because we can't be together. But just because we can't physically be together doesn't mean we can't pick up the phone, FaceTime our friends and family, call them, send a text, just let them know that you're thinking about them. And when this is all over, you can just have Easter again with them. Have a great day.